Okay, good people, welcome to day 14 of our daily Python test. Today we have something a little long. The description is quite long and gets a bit complicated if you don't break it down into smaller chunks. What we're doing today is we're trying to create tic-tac-toe input. Now this is the board that's been created for us, and this is a 2D board that is being accessed using A1 or B1 or things like that. It has a specialized cell location, but in truth this tic-tac-toe board has been drawn using lists, Python lists. This is what we use to represent this board in our code, Python list. Now normally from the description that was given here, if a user wants to maybe put X here, now they will access this particular cell by saying B2 and then they put it here, or they say C3 and that's this cell here. But in our list here there is no way of using C3 or C1 or B2 to access any of this list here. We have a list called board. Within it are 3 lists. Now we have to find a way to make these C1 or B2 or whatever to correspond with this right here. So we can say board, row, color, and it should, this is going to be an integer. Like for instance, we have something like board and then we have 0 and then we have 2. So we know that we use, and these are the indexes, and then with these indexes now we can access this. Now sorry, I said 2, right? So that means we can access this. For instance, that is going to be C1 now. So how can we convert C1 into this now so that it's correct for any of the cell location that maybe is imputed, like A3 now for example. Now they say we should create a function called getRowCall. Let's just copy this, and after it does everything it does, let it return a tuple that has this coordinate 2 0 or 0 1 or whatever to correspond with whatever this cell location is that is passed in as a string. Let's get to work. Enough talking. First off, we define our function and then it takes in a parameter. So let's call that parameter cell location, and that's good. Now after doing this, we have to find a way of getting what the row is and what the column is, and we have to make sure we can convert this ABC into integer, more like get the indexes of these ABC. So first thing I'll do is define those ABC. So let's say letters now, and then let's pass it as a string ABC. Now one good thing I like Python for is that we can access this B or this C or this A, the indexes of them in letters. Let's say for instance we no need for that, we can just say letters and passing 0 now, and it's going to give us A or 1, and it's going to give us B or 2, and it's going to give us C. So with this knowledge, this is what we're going to use to convert the rows, the columns into indexes, into integers. So now we've gotten that in the bag, let's convert the rows. Now rows are this one 2 3, so they're already passed in as integers, so to say, but they are strings. Yes, because look, it's going to be passing as a string, but we can convert it into an integer. So let's just do this. Now when you put whatever you put inside here, is going to be Python will attempt to convert it into an integer. So that's what we're working with here. So let's do this first. Then we're going to try to get this cell location, the last or the index 1 of cell location. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll do cell location, and we're going to get the index 1 because it's a1, so a is 0 and 1 is 1, and then we're trying to convert that into an integer. But the problem here is that the index for this row, that is this row, is 0. It's not 1. The index for this one is 1 and not 2, because indexes always start from 0. But here we have 1 2 3, so we have to convert that in. We have to minus 1 from it for them to correspond. So we're just going to do this. We converted whatever the cell location, the index 1 of the cell location, that's the number here, we converted it into an integer. Then we subtract 1 from it so that it's going to tally with how indexing work. Now we've done that, we've gotten our row. Now what's left is our column. So let's say for column, now we're going to say our column should be, now these letters now that we said before, remember that we have some like letters and then we put in an index. But unfortunately inside here now, trying to put index, we cannot call cell location and then passing that index. Actually it's 0. Now we cannot pass in this index. Now we cannot pass this in like this, it's not going to work. But not to worry, there's a way around it. Instead of all this, we're going to use the dot index here, and then inside there, now that's where we're now going to pass in this cell location and pass in 0, the index of, let me put this out so that you get the picture. So this is index 0 and then this is index 1. So row, that's for all these rows here, we have our index 1, that's this, because it's 1 2 3. So this, then for our columns, this and this and this is our index 0. So that's what's happening here. For the rows we've explained that, and then the columns we've explained that. Now it's going to check from here, and the index of whatever is here, it will use that one to know what has been, to interpret what has been passed in. So it's going to be like a1, it just thinks like that, so we know exactly the index of that thing. So yeah, I think we're good here. Oh, sorry, I didn't quite explain this properly. You know what we're trying to get here is the index of this. We're not trying to get A or B or C, so we're trying to return its index. So that's why we're using dot index here. All right, let's just go ahead and return this and test if our code is even correct. So we do row and column. Let me be sure that's the way they want it arranged. Yes, row then column. So yeah, now let us test this out. Run code. Boom. Yeah, we're done, we got it. Thanks for being there, guys. I really appreciate. If you still don't understand the explanation, do well to drop me a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer you, or you can call me up. My phone numbers are just about everywhere on this channel, or send me an email or something and I can explain it to you clearer. And I don't know, you can ask me questions more on the fly and you get your responses for all this. Remember to drop a like, hit the bell icon, subscribe if you still haven't, so you don't miss a day. See you tomorrow, guys. Keep coding, keep being your best self, and ciao till we meet tomorrow.